Hello. Today I'm going to give a demonstration of how you can use the Pulse for Good feedback system in somewhere like a day center or a navigation center, a drop-in shelter, somewhere where there's a lot of people congregating in the middle of the day to be able to receive a various set of services. Right? This could be services offered around housing. It could be services offered around job placement. It could be anything in kind of that general services area. So we have quite a few of these using our Pulse for Good system, and we wanted to show how that works and how you can get the most value out of it, and particularly give you a chance to look at some of the software here. I'm going to come into a demo survey real quick. You can kind of see we have some just demo data in here. This is the dashboard. I'm going to launch one of our test surveys. So the data here won't be recorded, but you'll be able to see this survey that's been set up currently for a day center or a navigation center. Some sort of service provider that's offering a whole bunch of different services. So you can imagine this exact survey being offered on a touch screen of a kiosk, much like this picture here in the background. Now, as I come in, the first question we're going to ask is just an overall, how are you doing? How was your visit? How are things going? The wording of every survey can be changed. It can be repurposed. You can remove questions. You can add questions. We do have some recommended ones, but in general, we will do whatever it is to get the feedback that you need to be able to improve your services. So an individual can come into here and they'll first be able to answer this question. And we tend to ask the most broad-ranging question first because there's a chance that they may walk away from this survey after answering the first question. So we want to just get the general, how are things going, question out of the way first. And so then come in and say, my visit was pretty good. I can say, how safe did I feel at the, notice there's a blank here, right? At whatever your facility is, how safe did I feel? And I can answer and say, I felt pretty safe. How clean was it? I can come in and say, it was, very, I'll say very dirty, unfortunately. How nice were the staff? Let's say they were very nice. Now, this is where, in particular, you can look at this for a drop-in center or a day center or a navigation shelter or navigation center. We're able to then ask them, what do they use? Right? In lots of these facilities, and probably in yours, you offer multiple services. Now, why this is interesting is I may want to be able to try and see, are people using certain services? And if so, are people more satisfied with their overall visit if they do use certain services? So for instance, if I come in and say, hey, I use showers, I use medical, and I jumped on a computer. And then I go through and I can answer some additional questions. Maybe I say, I wish there was Wi-Fi. For the record, Wi-Fi is our single most asked for thing amongst vulnerable individuals. For Wi-Fi inside of the shelters, the day centers, the mental and behavioral health facilities, the domestic violence centers, that like Wi-Fi is the thing. And so if you don't have Wi-Fi, I can always guarantee you'll get responses saying, I wish there was Wi-Fi. And then we can get into demographic questions. These are demographic questions around homelessness right now. So I'm be able to answer and say, I'm chronically homeless, been there more than 12 months. What's my ethnicity? I'll answer honestly, I'm a white 30-year-old male who's married, and that's all the questions we're asking. And I get back to this screen where we say your feedback is helping to make this experience as good as possible with a finish. The reason we have a finish is we want to be able to reset the survey. If people leave halfway through this or leave on this screen, there'll be a prompt that will emerge here in just a second. And that prompt will say, hey, are you still here? And if not, it'll reset the survey for them, just because we don't want the survey to forever be stuck on the third question and for someone to come up and finish a survey for somebody. This screen here also can be customized. Right now, amidst the COVID response, we're getting a lot of people asking for us to put a reminder for people to wash their hands or some other information on this last page. You can also ask or put in some information of where they can go to receive additional services or point out some extra things that they can do on this final page. So I'm going to hit finish and it's going to reset. You imagine the next person being able to step up and take the survey here. Now, as I come into the demo, you can see the information in here. Remember, what we just put in there wasn't saved because it was in a test mode. You can tell the test mode has this pink bar over it. But when I'm in here, I can now look and see people's responses. You can see how many of these are just garbage responses, as this has been a demo mode and people are just testing things out. But I can come in here and see what did I use. Now, in pie chart format, that doesn't really give us any help here. What is helpful, however, is when I come and I say I want to edit my filters, and I can start filtering on, hey, what did they use? So we have an overall score of 3.76. Let's see how that changes when I just say people that just use showers. So people that use showers record a lower overall score than people that weren't using showers. Now, let's go back. Let's take a look at the safety one. I think that's a common one, and maybe even cleanliness. So people that use showers rated this at 3.5 and 3.7. Let's see when they didn't. It jumps to 3.6 and 3.8. So there's a lot of extrapolation here, and this is recreational statistics. But you could start looking into if people who are using the showers feel less safe and less clean. Maybe the cleanliness part of this is coming from the showers being unclean, or maybe that's where they're not feeling safe. You could go back in and answer a few more things and say, okay, let's see people that just used food and see how they feel. So we have 61 responses, and notice their cleanliness is still pretty high. Their safety dropped just a little bit, and their overall score, I believe, was higher than just people that use the showers. I don't remember where their showers were. Yep, showers was a little bit lower than people that just got food. And compared to normal, 3.76. Let's see, compared to people with food, 3.75. So just a small drop in people that use food. And you see there's 61 reviews of people that said there was food, that used food, compared to 373 reviews overall. So this is one of the ways you could use this to be able to get information about how your day center, navigation center, whatever it is you're trying to do is operating, and how different services affect the satisfaction and experience for various people. You can customize the type of services. Again, all these questions are customizable. And so if you have multiple providers offering these services there, you could even ask what provider did you visit, or perhaps even what staff member did you talk to, and be able to try and drill down and get information that is helpful at that level. Now, I wanted to show you really briefly just some real data that comes from here. So I'm going to step into, this is the Weigand Center. The Weigand Center is a day center in Salt Lake City, Utah. They offer a large assortment of services, and they're one of the oldest Pulse for Good clients. As I come in here, you're going to be able to notice a lot of these questions are very similar. So how was your visit? Again, this is a test. We're not saving any real data here. So if I come in through, I say, hey, it was fine. I felt fairly safe. It was pretty clean. The staff were awesome. The staff there are awesome. And so it's unsurprising if someone actually answers that. And they can say, hey, I used a computer. Again, Wi-Fi. How long I've been homeless. These questions are going to follow very, very similarly to what we've seen already. They may have one or two differences. Great, thanks, done. So reset. So you can see what the Weigand Center looks like right there. I wanted to show you is their dashboard as we come into here. Go back to list, and we're going to look at the Weigand Center. Now, here's the Weigand Center. This is their last month's reviews, right? And you can tell they're doing great. They're an amazing organization. They've had 25 reviews this month, and you can kind of see in here how they're doing. You can see what they use. So let's take a look and edit this by what they use. Let's see. So remember they're at 4.47. Look at the safety. They're 4.5 and 4.3 for cleanliness. Look at that exact same thing again. See what people use showers. All right, so people who said they use showers were at 4.59, a 4.4, and a 4.5. It's really not far off of their original number, so that may not be an inflection point for them that actually matters. We can also come in here and try and say, hey, let's see what their experience is like for a male. So it's again 4.47, 4.5, 4.3. Let's look at male. All right, so I see a 4.6, so it dropped a little bit, 4.5 and 4.6. So actually, the cleanliness score went up for those that identified as male. It's kind of interesting. So you can try and tease out different things out of this information, and then you can start experimenting and doing different things. If you increase the effort being put into the showers, for instance, does that bring up your overall cleanliness score more than if you put in the effort somewhere else? You can do a lot of these things, and it works tremendously well at somewhere like a drop-in shelter or a day center or a navigation center because of the transient nature of the people that are there, because of the amount of people that tend to be there, and because of the broad range of services that are offered. You can get data about all of those things and all of those people, all from one kiosk location, or potentially a few. Though the Weigand Center actually has 3 kiosks that run there, one in kind of a general area, one in a dining hall, and another one that's running there for volunteers. And then they get data from volunteers as well to try and match up those type of things. We recommend probably one for every couple hundred people you serve. So if you're serving a few hundred people, you may want 2 or 3, but you'll be able to get quite a bit of data. One last thing I wanted to show was the Weigand Center has been running for quite a while now, 2 years-ish, and so they've received 2,300, almost 2,400 responses and surveys taken. That's a lot of feedback to receive from your clients. There's a lot of stories in there and a lot of interesting things. A lot that comes out here in the "What do you wish was here" question that people are asking. Some of them are great. Some of them are going to be horrible. Some are going to be interesting. But a lot of them are going to give you a great and empathetic insight into what's going on in people's lives. All right, well, that is just a quick summary of how you could use the Pulse for Good system in a day center or a navigation center. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out or visit pulseforgood.com. Please don't hesitate. We'd be happy to help.